Welcome, my beautiful souls. Today, we are going to do a love reading. This is a type of love reading where we are going to our spirit guides, and I am asking six specific questions. This is for those who, are either looking for love. You may be asking, like, when is love coming in for me? Um, you could have someone on your mind. I'm not going to put any limits on it, but it's definitely for someone who's interested in love. If you're not interested in love, this reading's probably not for you. So I'll save you some time. But you never know. You never know what you're going to find. So yeah, we're going to ask six questions, and I'm going to use the Light-seers tarot to ask the questions. We will use the crystal vision to clarify above, and we're going to use the gilded tarot to clarify below. So, um, everything is pre-shuffled. I want you to know that. Normally I shuffle with you with you here, but I feel like this is the type of reading where I just want to get into it, and I just hope you trust that everything is pre-shuffled. Matter of fact, I shuffle for like 15 minutes. That's when I'm really opening myself up, to become the messenger for you. So let's go ahead and actually open up this reading. And we're going to start with the first question. Is there anything that's blocking, and I'm going to say me, but I mean you. Is there anything blocking me or my growth relating to love? Is there anything getting in my way? Page of Pentacles. Actually, let me bring this lid down. All right, so we have the Page of Pentacles. That tells me it's been a learning experience. It reminds me of like kissing a lot of frogs to find that ultimate prince or princess. But it's definitely been a learning experience. You've been learning as you've been going. Each relationship is like a stepping stone to the next. And, it's interesting because I do feel there are different levels to love. There's free will, of course, there's karmic, there's soulmate, twin flame for some. But I definitely feel like what this is saying is you're learning as you go. So let's go right above it. We have, well, the Three of Wands. So I feel like what this is saying is stay optimistic. This is really an energy of, number one, living in the present moment. Um, and being busy within your own life, I feel like, because this is saying to divine, like, I trust that my ships, my blessings, my love will come in its divine time. In the meanwhile, I'm just going to be grateful, optimistic, and I'm kind of not even thinking about it. That tells me that this is probably going to be guided love. And then, the Nine of Pentacles. So interesting. This is a very independent energy. Um, the meaning of this card is successful self-employment. And it's mirroring the Three of Wands. I feel like what it's saying is the best course of action right now. Instead of getting like worried about it or feeling chaotic about it, I feel like if we refocus the mind, and if you refocus on your creativity, you may just end up building a business for yourself. It may just come out of the blue. So keep that mind open. Because I feel like your guides are also going to help feed that mind. Now, I also feel for some, either your potential love or you yourself, you may had to become single. You know what I mean? Like you may have been in a relationship. Three of Wands would make me feel like you freed yourself because, again, I don't feel like there's really anything weighing you down in the Three of Wands. Or if there is, I feel like it's things that may be outside of your control. So let them go and let divine handle them. But I kind of love this because I feel for some of you, like I accidentally created a business, and if you are, again, like your intuition is wide open in the Three of Wands, and it really is in the Three of Wands, you are going to receive epiphanies. And I just feel like, let's just put it this way, even if it's not self employment, this is you feeling very independent. This is you not needing to count on someone else for their money. Let's put it that way. Something I tried to teach my daughter, like, if you become an independent woman, then you look at love differently. All right, okay, we'll accept that. So let's go to our second question. What do our guides want us to know right now um, about love? The Four of Swords, healing. Not just the heart, also healing of the mind, thoughts. I feel like what Spirit is saying is we have to allow this period of healing to take place. Don't let it get in our way either. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we wish for someone who maybe not, um, who maybe they're not, in our best interest. Again, you're learning, you're healing. Some of you are becoming independent. Let's go above that. We have the Seven of Wands. Interesting. And then we have, interesting, the Eight of Pentacles sitting next to the Nine of Pentacles. What does Spirit want us to know about love? That we need to allow ourselves to heal the past and then let the past go. We need to learn to refocus our mind when we may be going through something difficult, especially if it's something that maybe its completion date, was meant to happen. It kind of feels like this is a stepping stone for some of you to your ultimate love. Eight of Pentacles, I feel like answers a question. How do I know that this love, this next love, and I will be successful? Eight of Pentacles says whatever you focus on is what you're going to grow. It is mirroring the Seven of Wands, and Seven of Wands is about standing your ground. But here's the thing, it almost doesn't fit. Like, what are you standing your ground about? And I feel like it may be saying, don't fight for what, how do I say this? And I don't mean to hurt you when I say this, but don't fight for what is clearly not working in your favor. Let's just put it that way. So if someone is treating you bad, if for whatever reason you have your heart set on them, then I feel like the Four of Swords is you reflecting over why. Like, why am I giving love, a particular person maybe, so much of my self when I'm not receiving that energy back. You know, love is a two-way street. If someone is not focused on a partnership, then I would take that as a clue. Because I feel here like I may want what I want, but if what I want doesn't want me, then what good is it? You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes the hard truth is what we need to hear. Now, I don't feel like that's everyone, but I do feel like some may have just given time, effort, and haven't received back. Again, a stepping stone, a stepping stone. All right. So, number 3, how will my love life be, look like? Whether single, new love, current love, or even love coming back. And I'm asking for 2025, but also 2026. But in 2026, I want to know like within the first couple months. Um, so how would love look? Adventuresome, exciting, risk-taking. I feel like I just love this image. I feel like this is someone who goes by the beat of her own drum. No excuses for it. Some of you, you're finding that person within you again. Where you used to be carefree, and for some, it's like the opposite now. But this is about how love can look. We have the unknown card. Okay. I know right away what this is talking about. We are the co creator of our lives. So even though divine and our spirit guides, they're here to guide us, they're not here to live our lives for us. You know what I mean? And they can introduce or open up a chapter. But then it's up to us. Like we are writing those chapters. We have the pen. They have the paper. Put them together. You just have beauty. And I feel like that's what this message is saying. Like, it's not about, like, when you think of love, don't naturally go into it thinking about where will this go. I feel like this is about having fun, allowing that adventure, that that adventuresome self to come out, to take some chances. I also feel like this is saying that love that's coming in is of a fiery nature. Doesn't have to mean it's a fire sign. It means it's carrying passion, and you're going to feel it. And I hope that means that as this starts to come towards you, that you're allowing, like, let's just say, your unencumbered self to enjoy it. All right, let's go below. The Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands reflection. But I have to tell you, this is my spirit warrior. This is someone who's looked back, which is exactly what we're meant to do this year. This is all with the year of the hermit. But this is looking back at one's life, and let's just say love, because this is a love reading. And looking at all the wands behind this person. These may be different relationships, different experiences, but it's really about the things that you've overcome. the adventures that you've had. And, this is about understanding that you should be proud of who you are today. That's why I call this person my spirit warrior. Number one, because they're willing to look at themselves and the situations because I want to learn. I want to become the best version of myself. And by the way, when you're the best version of yourself, just by the law of attraction, that's what must vibrate back. I feel like that's why the Three of Wands is here. Like we're letting go of exactly how things must be. Look at that, two nines. Could be two people becoming single. And we're asking our guides, so that's what our guides would say would be the best, you know. But when I say that, that means that something has come to completion. A relationship had come to completion. I'm not telling you to leave anyone. That's free will. But you do want to know, like, what has come to completion. When is something done? And then the willingness, and then let's go back to the Four of Swords. Take that moment, do some reflection, allow yourself to heal, understand that you were learning, and there's more excitement about to come. Okay, so let's go to question 4. What lessons from my past are helping me right now? Not hurting. What lessons from my past are helping me? The Devil. Oh, the Ace of Pentacles. And the World. Interesting. Saying interesting because the Devil, card of Capricorn, number 1. But the Devil talks about illusions or temptations. I mean, look how he's holding his hand out to me like, grab my hand. No, thank you. And it's interesting because it's mirroring the Page of Pentacles, where it's literally telling you like this is all about a learning experience, and as I learn, I grow. And as I grow, my life becomes better. The world is the next chapter. And the Ace of Pentacles means that something is coming into your physical world. Some of you, it can certainly mean Capricorn. I feel like, well, I might come back and look at the Devil. And the Devil, it should be called temptation. Like, but it is the shadow part of love. There's light, there's shadow. Okay, what question are we on? 5. If single or interested in love, what type of person is crossing your path? We have the Ace of Pentacles. That means coming into your physical world. We have the world. This is the next chapter. I kind of love that because, especially with these nines, it's like I'm doing this reflection, just what the year is asking for. And really, what I'm doing is looking at my own growth. This is not about looking back with a regret. Okay, so I forgot the question. Is single or interested in love? What type of person is crossing your path right now? True. All right, Seven of Swords. Interesting. I feel like there's, nope, it's singular. The Tower and the Queen of Wands. Okay, well, let me just say, I feel like for some of you, it's almost like this is a spiritual test. Because I do feel for some, and I find this happens a lot. Just from doing personal readings and just reading tarot for so long, connecting to my guides, where a lot of times people do come back. And sometimes people come back right when we're ready to make this new change. Doesn't mean love has entered yet, but I'm getting closer and closer to it. And then somebody comes in who I feel like you gave a tower to before, or they gave you a tower. And it's like they're coming in again. But here's the thing, I don't feel like you're the same person. Seven of Swords is untrustworthy energy, and it resulted in a tower. But then the Queen of Wands mirroring that tower. Well, the Queen of Wands is not a fear based energy. So if this Seven of Swords shows up again, well, she would cut it out. She would give that tower again. And this time she'd mean it. He or she, by the way. Interesting. I'm just looking at everything. Okay, well, let's keep going. So, what energy is being called for in November and December? I figured I might as well add December in there. Moving forward, um, from your guides, and again, relating to love. Five of Wands, drama. The Eight of Cups, perfect. I'll tell you why in a second. And then beautiful, the Magician. And this is 2026's energy of the Magician. So, number one, that person I was worried about who may make a repeat pattern, and that's free will. But it looks to me like there's zero change. Not just zero change, but I feel like it would just result probably back into you needing to go back into the Four of Swords. But here's the thing, I feel like you see it now. You feel it. You know it. Like you know it by name. And this is you saying no more. This is you clearing your emotional house. And this is you heading towards the Nine of Cups, which is inner harmony. And that makes sense because it's mirroring the Three of Wands. But this is also about fulfillment of wishes as you move to the Nine. And the Magician is the manifester. The Magician is also our mentor. The Magician reminds us that we have all the tools on the table that we need to manifest. Don't get caught back up in anyone's drama. This definitely is drama filled. I feel like what this is saying is for some, you may have someone coming back who I just don't feel like serves your highest interest at all. Now, I'm not going to say It doesn't mean like someone from the past couldn't come back and be the right one, but it is clearly showing us someone that you dealt with that. And listen, this could be old energy that still needs cleared. You know what I mean? Like, because you want to think about that, right? Like, I want to let go of what I can let go of. So when I enter into this next chapter, number one, I know what I want to bring and what I don't want to bring. All right, let's look at the bottom of the decks. We have the Queen of Cups. That makes sense in a love reading. Can be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, but it doesn't have to be. I feel like Queen of Cups is really perfect in the reading because this is someone who, loves love. Doesn't mean they have to have love. What they appreciate is having a partner by their side, building a life together. Okay, well, that card didn't want to come up, so clearly this wants to be seen. Ace of Wands, passion ignited. It means it's go time. And you know what else I feel? Because we have the Knight of Wands right in the middle. I feel like this is saying that your passion will be stirred. There's going to be something. There's going to be something that makes you feel drawn to someone, not this person. And by the way, if you keep getting drawn to someone who keeps hurting you, you may want to think that that may be a karmic lesson. You know what I mean? Like the reclaiming of one's power, shutting down their power. Anyway, let's see what is giving me a hard time. King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have, doesn't have to be any of that. We do have Capricorn, we have Virgo, and I don't see any Taurus. King of Pentacles is usually loyal in the upright. This is usually someone who's pretty stable. And, I don't want to give this king a bad rap because of the pentacles I'm seeing. I feel they almost feel like matching, like similar. And by the way, he's holding this pentacle in his hand, and here is this Ace of Pentacles. Oh my God. Hello, Ace of Cups. In the Psychic Tarot, it's called Love Begins. Love Begins. And it's interesting is it's mirroring the Eight of Cups. I should bring that down a little bit more. It's mirroring the Eight of Cups. This is where you are giving yourself a new beginning. This is when you are finding that emotional clarity. Some of you're still in this, but you're moving closer and closer to that inner harmony. And I feel like a new cup. I just kind of want to peek under that. Oh my God. Oh. So, hello, Knight of Cups, unexpected couple fulfillment. And look who's connected to it. The King, who's right here. And by the way, I don't want to keep, oh my gosh, I don't want to keep going back, but here's the Knight of Wands, here's the Knight of Wands right in the middle. So I feel like that's connecting you. But then look at this. We have the marriage card, commitment card. So even though I feel like it hasn't happened yet, I feel like it is closer to the surface. Well, how did, okay. Oh, I was like, where'd the Ace of Cups go? Here it is. How beautiful to have the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Cups connected like that, especially with the Eight of Cups being here, the last card. Emotional clarity. It's like with the Magician's energy, I get the sense like I know what I want. And I don't mean like, like someone with dark hair and dark eyes. I just mean like I know what type of love I want. Three cups under that queen. Did I look under him? Yep, Ace of Wands. I mean, that just feels meant to be. Earth and water. That could be for some. For some of you, the devil, is a Capricorn. But I think that's for just a few. Okay. Um, you know, I didn't really want to clarify, but I feel like I do now. I want to look at a couple things and then we'll let it be. I'm going to use the Universal Tarot. Let's give him a cut, introduce him into this reading. Okay, well, I think, all right. And that, and that, and that. Okay, and that. I think we just got our clarifiers. Well, there's a lot there, but we'll see. All right, so let me look around real quick. I just realized you have two aces, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. What's beautiful about that is the Ace of Cups, unconditional love. For some, love begins. Ace of Pentacles, it literally means coming into your physical world, comes as a seed. It does need nurturing. That's what the Eight of Pentacles is also saying. Like, whatever you focus on is what you're going to grow. And by the way, you can focus on both your career and love. But I wanted to look a little bit more at just at the devil, the Seven of Swords, and the Tower, and the Five of Wands. All right, we have the Eight of Wands. When I think about it, I bring about the Page of Cups. It's kind of like your inner child. The Two of Swords, the devil, and the Four of Cups. Okay. All right. Well, you know, we can want what's not great for us just because it's comfortable sometimes. Because this is showing the devil again. So I feel like for some, this is saying that there may be someone in your life who keeps pulling you into their web, so to speak. I don't feel like you're truly happy. Four of Cups represents discontentment, boredom, right? But yet I'm in it. Two of Swords means that I'm wearing a blindfold. There may just be something I don't want to face. I feel like it's the Seven of Swords you may not want to face. Their energy, can I trust them? I do feel like this is also saying someone has a lot of drama, causes a lot of drama. And I get it because that's the type of energy. If you said to them, like, let's say you were living with them and they went out and you're like, where were you? You just went to the store and you were gone for 10 hours. No, I got lost. So I stopped at Brian's. Do you know what I mean? There's always something. There's always something. But like within. And I'm not saying they're cheating. I'm just saying they are not giving you the love you deserve. But you have to know that. And as we evolve, so does the love in our life. So do the people. And really everything. But I have to tell you, I feel like for some of you, this is like a repeat pattern, but it feels like a test. Here is a cup that's coming in that Four of Cups. It's that cup. It's not their cup. You know, they could come in and pretend, but I'm just not buying it. And what hurts my heart is I know for some of you, it's like, but it's the person I wanted. And I guess what you need to ask yourself is, are they treating you right? Is this someone who you talk to and then they ghost you? Is that what you deserve? Your guides would tell you no, right? But you have to know that. And I feel like it's almost like this person knows right where to play you, and that's within your inner child. Some of you could have had a difficult childhood. And I hate to say this, but I feel like someone takes advantage of that. So I'm just not liking what I see. Um, and I just got to trust that. To each their own. Trust your own intuition. But I feel that was pretty clear. Okay, so I have all these extra cards. And I think what I'm going to do is just let them be a message to us. Beautiful, the Empress. So this is important. Let's talk about the Empress for a second. This is someone who has been through it just like you. I feel like this is someone who has lived the life of all the queens, the good and the bad, but has broken it down, figured it out. And this is someone who does not allow the past to dictate her future. No way in hell. This is someone who is loving and nurturing. And listen, you know, sometimes people take advantage of that. But the Empress has found her courage. She's found her strength. You cannot pull the wool over her eyes. So if you feel like you're moving into the Empress's energy, and this energy tries to come back, the Empress would not go back. Not for this type of energy. The Magician. And look at right above his head, the infinity symbol. As above, so below. No beginning, no end. I mean, you put the Empress and the Magician together, hang on to your hat. Hang on to your hat. The Chariot. That makes so much sense. Chariot is unlimited potential, but it requires balance. And it is the balance of the feminine and the masculine within ourselves. But we can even say outside of ourselves, the light and the shadow. I feel like for some of you, you know the shadow very well now. Don't fear it because now you know it. But when you have this balance, it truly becomes unlimited. And with the Empress opening this up with the Magician, that would make sense. Nine of Swords, that is worry, but this is unnecessary worry. So why are you worrying all of a sudden? Six of Swords, well, some of you, it's about a change. This may be someone who has a hard time with change. Sometimes it's easier to stay in the uncomfortableness than to start something new. But Six of Swords means that you're leaving the toxicity, the drama in the past. And this is you on to new lands, new adventures. Six of Swords temporarily, for some, not everyone, feels difficult, but that's if you're uncomfortable with change. But know that this is very temporary because this person is heading towards the sun. And then, well, hello, full. That is perfect. Look at this. That makes so much sense, right? Leaving the toxicity behind. I'm healing as I go. And then the full. I have a feeling somewhere in between there, you might have met someone. The fool is ready to take a leap of faith. And I feel like what this is saying is try as hard as you can not to allow your past, especially the difficult, let's say relationships, to have any say so in your present or your future. I feel like your guides are setting you up beautifully. But for some, it is still clearing. And we're still in the year of the hermit. So we're still clearing energy. But then we move into the year of the magician. We have the magician twice. And the world. So it's almost like it's saying, it's not that you have to wait till 2026, or let's use the rest of 2025 to really use the hermit's energy and clear what is no longer serving us. So when love does enter, number one, trust your intuition. That's a big thing. Like your intuition will let you know. If someone like carries the Seven of Swords comes in, the Empress will know it before this person even has a chance to enter her house, so to speak. Because her intuition is like her, what do I want to say, her energetic force. And anyone who tries to get through that force, they better be pretty close to the same vibration. Doesn't have to be the same. And some of you, this has just been the journey you've been going on, right? And it is getting you ready. Getting you ready for the Ace of Cups. This knight, or this king, and don't even think about the sign. What I'm really noticing is he's holding this pentacle. Here is the pentacle. And this pentacle is mirroring the world. And what did he have under him? The Ace of Wands. So, that means that your heart chakra is going to be activated. That means you will be at the right place at the right time. Like, I really feel like what your guides are saying is this is about letting go of control, thinking about one's own energy, and just knowing, especially if you feel like you can claim the Empress's energy, which means you're living in the present moment like the Fool. You're willing to take a leap of faith, but the Empress is, she's smart spiritually and probably intellectually, but you don't have to be. She understands, though, that this has been a learning process, and she does know when to cut ties, but it's what she's learned. So there were times in her life where she probably didn't. She probably got stuck in this web, but she found her way out. I feel like your guide just saying, take on the Fool's energy. The Fool and the Empress together. This is definitely showing love coming in. And I love the way that it's coming in, right? Again, through the Knight of Pentacles, unexpected couple fulfillment, and the King, matching the King. And then what? The Four of Wands. Oh, the Knight, which we saw. And then the Four of Wands. Okay, now I'm just losing the cards. Okay, let's pick these up. And I'm just going to ask a question. So, they're in the Empress's energy or close to it. Tell us more about this love of the higher vibration. There's anything that we can know. Anything we can know. Seven of Pentacles, wow. It's like your tree of life, my friends. Seven of Pentacles, I feel like it's talking about soulmates because I feel like a lot of these seeds are predestined. And that just means that we meet up in a destined time. And that might be why I was feeling like you'll just be at the right place at the right time. Some of you may be like, but I hardly ever leave the house. Well, I reconnected with someone and I did not leave the house. Anyway, I feel like this is really good news. We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. And look at this, the Five of Wands in reverse. That's the past. That's the past. The Five of Pentacles is like that tower. It's the things that happen to you outside of your control. And a lot of times we don't have the luxury of just like, laying in our bed crying. We have to keep on moving. But it may be a good thing that if you keep on moving. I also love the Five of Wands in reverse because drama, you're not welcomed here. This is telling you that this person doesn't carry drama. This is telling you this person has no interest of giving someone a tower. Chances are they're looking for exactly what you're looking for. And I'm saying chances are, I know it to be so. They're looking for you. And you're looking, well, I'm saying looking, but let's just say we're putting out those intentions. All right. Anything else? Four of Swords. Allow that healing to take place. And I always notice this one sword. I feel like this one sword is our own self, right? Our own thoughts, knowing like this is about the heartbreak. But I feel like this sword holds the truth. And it may be of one, like, did I stay too long? And again, it's not about judgment. It's about knowing yourself. Knowing yourself, especially knowing yourself in love. All right. Anything else? This will be the last. Look who just popped back out again. The King of Pentacles. So he's meant to be here. I was going to say that's the last card, but I kind of want to just see. The Two of Pentacles. The Star. And the Five of Swords. Coming right into that healing. He's actually looking at healing. Um, I'll tell you what I feel like this is saying. I feel like your future person, they're going to understand you probably better than anyone because they have gone through very similar situations. I don't feel like they've given up on love. I don't feel like you've given up on love. I love that the star is here because it is about your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, but about manifesting them. And I feel like that's exactly what you do. Unless you are this king, I feel like this king comes in, and by the way, king or queen, and it puts you in a question mode, the Two of Pentacles. You know, they call that the juggler's card. I call it using your logical mind. And it's interesting because we saw the Two of Swords. And that's where I am kind of blocking an opportunity of something I don't want to face. Two Pentacles, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Boy, I have a feeling the lyrics of that song, I can see clearly now. That may not be the title. I have a feeling, I'm going to look it up because I have a feeling the words are going to mean something to someone, or they already do. So, okay, I'm going to leave this be. Um, Very interesting. I actually love doing this format, and I'm going to let it be. You may not see me for a little while because I do have to catch up on personal readings. Um, but I definitely wanted to. I felt this reading for about a week. I've been wanting to do it. I just felt it, and today I felt that I was going to do a personal reading, but it's like do this reading. So I did this, and I also just did a podcast that really talks about your life path number and your personal year number. And I did that because, again, we're very close to the end of the universal year 9, the end of this 9-year chapter, and we're starting the year 1, the magician. We see it twice, and I have a feeling one is for you, one is for the other. I just feel like you will be guided. And I mean that. I mean, like, you don't have to worry. Like, I feel like it's just going to happen. I feel like the best thing we can do is just be ready. And what does that mean, be ready? Clear the past. Don't allow people of the past to have an effect in your present nor your future. Try to be open. Be open to love. Doesn't mean that you're making a commitment, even though we saw that this love has the potential of, well, forevermore type of love. And those who had someone coming back who I feel like you must know it in your heart. It feels like it's one last test. But boy, you passed this test. I feel like you'll be amazed at what will happen. Let's just put it that way. We cannot let people treat us like shit and then come back around and treat us like shit again, right? We have to learn that we have to claim our own power. It doesn't mean be a bitch. You know what I mean? It just means that I have worked too long and hard to raise my vibration, to live a worthy life. I'll be damned if you're going to come in and try to destroy that. Not again. I have my eyes set on something bigger. And as you should. And those who are not dealing with that, it's still showing your tremendous growth. And it would just make sense that this type of love, I can't believe we got the Ace of Cups with the Knight of Cups below it. I don't know why I can't believe it, but, or let me put it a different way. Our guides amaze me on a daily basis. It's like they can read my mind, or maybe they're putting it in my mind. But anyway, so I'm going to let this be. I love you guys. I thank you. Um, you may have to watch this twice to really I was going to say trice. That's 3 times now. But only for those who may still feel a little stuck. But I thank you. I thank our guides. And my prayer is those who want that special partner, that the two of you come together seamlessly. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.